What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of 10K on the Bay, my journey to 10,000 live listings. Today, I'm going to do a pretty interesting show, which is I'm going to ask you guys which you prefer. There are two models that I think are pretty easy to do $10,000 a month, which I actually have both. So I feel like I'm actually qualified now to talk about this from both perspectives, and I'll give you guys an idea of both. And this is something that I want to ask you guys what you think. Would you rather sell things for $15 or would you rather sell things for $100? And the reason why I want to bring this topic up, I think it's a really, really important topic, is that when I was reviewing the top 100 stores on eBay. This is crazy, guys. You guys ready for this crazy fact? 86 of the top 100 stores on eBay sell stuff for about $15. This is 86 of the top 100 stores sell stuff that's cheap. Now, this is a good question. So there's some caveats. We're talking about a buy cost of $5 on the 15 or a buy cost of $33 on the 100. There's two models. Buy for $5, sell for $15, 5 or less, or buy for $33, sell for $100. Now, two totally different models, and I want to go over it with you guys because I have both. In my premium store, right, I have 600 items, and the average ASP is $100. Now, I'll tell you, the sell-through rate's really, really slow. Of course, I had the microphone. I'm doing karaoke. I'm Asian. So, like, if you do 100 items at 600 items total, now you're going to sell, that's about 15% of your stuff is selling each month at, that's the proverbial $10,000 a month income on that store. So the sell-through rate's a little bit slower. So you have the 600 items, 100 sell. It's extremely peaceful. You're talking about buying and selling and listing and shipping only 3 items a day. Okay, really, really straightforward. Go out and find 3 things, spend $100 a day, sell for 300, net your 100. Now, I mean, that's not a lot of money. I mean, it's not going to make you're not going to like get rich off of that, but you will make $10,000 a month, which is like the first goal I think you guys need to get to. I think to make a full-time income, you really need to be in the $15,000, $20,000 range. But we're just talking about making $10,000 a month, and that's a really clean way of making money. So if you are at the okay, so this is buying for 33 and selling for 100. That's an easier, more peaceful way of getting to $10,000 a month. Shout out to Hustle B in the chat. You could easily do 6 items a day, buying for 33 and sell for 100. Not easily, but if you have some product knowledge, you could buy for 33, sell for 100, and do 6 a day, and that'll give you the $20,000 a month. And I think you could net, a 6-figure income if you do it that way, right? But here's the thing. 86 of the top 100 stores on eBay do $15 shipped, including shipping. And most of them are first-class items. So that's very, very interesting because most people on eBay who make 7 figures and above sell stuff that's $15 and cheaper, probably because of the abundance and how easy it is to get this stuff. So if you buy for 5, sell for 15, that's not my favorite model, but I have a similar version of that in the Low Key Husky store. If you guys are following it, the ASP is actually higher. It's 24, but with a cost of 5. Now, that's not accessible for everybody. That's not accessible for everybody because I live in the Bay Area and people are rich here. So like it's easy for $5. I can find items that are worth 30 pretty commonly, but depends on where you live. If you live in Montana on a farm, you're not going to find that many items. But I just want to point out, you can do a $15 model and still do $10,000 a month, still pretty easily, in my opinion. But what you would have to do is have 3,000 items for sale. That's crazy, right? So 3,000 items for sale, that's an anchor store. It's $300 a month. That's 10 cents per listing. And at the 20% sell-through rate is also, in my opinion, relatively peaceful. Okay, 20 items a day listed, sold. And if you're selling stuff that's only $15, you're not going to spend a lot of time sourcing because it's very easy, no matter where you live, to find items that sell for $15. If you can't find things that sell for $15, including shipping, you might struggle as a reseller because you're going to need to do crazy amounts of volume for that to work. But here's the thing, 3,000 items is an anchor store. Okay, so you have 3,000 items, 20% sell-through rate's very reasonable. That's 600 per month, right? And 600 per month at $5 profit is $3,000 net profit pre-tax on $10,000 in sales. That's totally doable for everybody. The people who are doing like auctions, like shout out to Posh Hanger. I was reading one of her posts and she had talked about doing a lot of auctions, which she was starting with eBay. I don't think you need to do auctions as a majority of your business. It should only be a small part of your business because it should only be a small part of your business because it's going to prevent you from getting the maximum dollar. I'll give you guys an example. I just sold a Lululemon pair of leggings for 55 bucks on auction, right? I could have just listed it as $65 and it would have sold in a reasonable amount of time. Like I didn't need to auction it. I was just testing my theory that maybe you should have 1% of your store on auctions to get the Cassini ranking. But without a doubt, I believe the auctions don't make you as much money, right? So if you're going to run auctions, do it as a supplemental income, not your main income. If you have 3,000 junk items in your store or 3,000 small items, like shout out to Tanya in the chat. If you do jewelry, let's say you have a bunch of jewelry that's $15. Jewelry is great because if you're doing it bulk, you're probably not paying $5 a piece. I'm just assuming you're paying 1/3. So you spend $5, sell for 15 times 3,000, you can still make $10,000 a month. And in my opinion, I'm going to go out on a limb here. I think it's easier to have 3,000 items that sell for 15 shipped than 600 items that sell for 100 shipped. Because if you're buying stuff that's 15 shipped, you could spend almost zero time sourcing. So if you want, you could be like me, be a hermit, stay home all day, order that stuff from AliExpress, or you can literally just go to your Goodwill on the dollar day or just go sourcing for garage sales Saturday and Sunday, and you would be able to do that model. I actually think it's easier, but like it's easier, but it's more work. So like you have to use less brain power. Okay, you can do less brain power because you don't have to do the research and really get into the market and figure out like the most specific things to buy. Because like, don't message people saying, what can I sell for $100 that I'm going to buy for 33? Like if they know what it is, they're probably not going to tell you. And if they do tell you, it'll be something that you need to go and hunt for, like Hustlebee. He'll say like, well, obviously go find things that have a $200 MSRP and buy them for 30. You'll probably be able to sell them for 100. Right? That's pretty obvious, but like, he's not going to tell you, I'm going to this store to get it and I'll be there at 10 o'clock a.m. If you get there before me, you'll be able to get it instead of me. No one's going to show you how to do that. Let's see. So yeah, I just think that another point that's very important is talking about, I'm going to shout out Tanya again, Thrifty Treasures. If you guys haven't subscribed to her, check out her channel. If you sell small items like, I don't want to give away people's business models, cufflinks or jewelry or Pokemon cards, one of my favorite categories. And originally I was thinking 10K on the bay, one box of Pokemon cards done, right? Don't have to do anything. But then I realized that it's really hard to be in the Pokemon game if you don't like play in the tournaments and really have an idea of what's hot, because cards can either be worth a lot or nothing. And that's not really that consistent. So you want to get stuff that consistently sells for $15. And in my opinion, this is stuff that's MSRP 50 to 100. Pre-owned, you can easily sell for 15 if it's something that people desire. So like if you had a $50 cheap coffee maker that works, somebody would probably pay $15 plus shipping for it. Pre-owned, pretty easily, you could have at least a 20% sell-through rate. So you guys have to remember, I'm using a 20% sell-through rate for junk items. 3,000 items sell 600. I'm using a 15% slower rate for $15 slower rate for 15% slower rate for the premium store with $100 items, because the higher the ASP, generally speaking, the slower the sell-through. That's not always the case, but if you guys know the Husky store, I have a hybrid. You guys ready? This is the magic formula that I think all of you should copy. You guys ready? I think you should learn how to do both. So what I would like to do is have a 10,000 item store of $100 ASP, right? Who wouldn't? But I want to slowly build my way up there. So right now, I already know how to do the $15 model. There are tons of YouTube channels that will show you how to do the bin model. If you guys want to follow Rockstar Flipper or Nicole State back in the day, now she's doing different stuff. But the $12 to $15 shipped model is the bin model. If you go to a Goodwill outlet 20 hours a week and buy stuff for $1 and try to sell for 12 to 15, it's there. That's the model, right? But I think that you should do that model and slowly increase your ASP to forever, right? Imagine if I sold 10,000 houses, right? That were $1 million each. That's a lot. So $1 million times 10,000 items, that's $10 billion in inventory. So you can imagine I could do $10 billion in inventory if I listed 10,000 homes, right? I don't know if you can sell real estate on eBay. Or I could sell 10,000 keychains for $5 shipped and only have 50,000 listed. So 50,000 listed versus 10 billion listed. That's how big the range is for reselling. Wow, crazy. What's up, Debbie? Debbie's aiming for $100 ASP, but I think you guys, we can slowly scale up to that magic number. And there are certain categories, like for example, a Bose stereo system. If you wanted to sell Bose stereo systems for $10 less than market, you could sell tons of them. But how do you get that many Bose systems? Like, could you get 1,000 Bose systems? That would be extremely capital intensive. So lots of different options. Yeah, so this is the model. $15. Will you guys put in the chat? Would you guys rather be $15 or would you rather be $100? Or would you rather be both? So I'm going to give you both options. Being both requires, generally speaking, a lot of capital. So you might be doing, let's say, okay, so we've got Loretta in the chat, and she's the slow dime, so she's very patient. She puts up items. She knows it's worth 75. She will wait and get $75 for it. That's great, especially if you have extra. If you understand the market really well, you can do that. If you don't understand the market very well, you can't do that. You have to be you have to have some experience in it and get into it and find out what's trending. That's one thing. If you guys haven't followed Loretta on Instagram, Thrift Love Sell, she talks about researching trending items so that you can buy stuff that is disproportionately valuable. Like, for example, I bought my first brass candlestick holders. So I found some at a garage sale for $4. I bought both of them. The ones that I have, I forgot the brand of it, but they're selling between $30 and $50. So that's a really good place to be. And I think if you're learning about trends like brass, like Loretta teaches on her Instagram, you can slowly inch that ASP up. You can also combine it and make bigger lots, because I think Loretta was talking about she'll list all her brass at the same time, not just like one at a time, because it slows you down. You guys will find out when you have to switch contexts. So for example, if you sell shoes and you sell office equipment and you also sell glass jars and you sell cookie jars and you sell brittle water filters, each time you switch categories, you're going to have to reset your brain, and you're probably going to have different business policies. You're going to do different kinds of research. But imagine if you were just selling 100 different kinds of Starbucks mugs. You would have an idea in your head what they cost. The shipping is always the same. You can build a niche on lots of different stuff. So Resell Hunter says he or she would rather sell $100 items, but also doesn't have the patience to wait. So you have to be patient. If you're going to sell $100 items, you have to wait, generally speaking. Let's see. So the picker life is trying to up the $15 slowly so you can make what you're making with less work. Agreed. So guys, it takes the same amount of work to list 10,000 Arc'teryx jackets versus 10,000 LL Bean jackets. But the value is literally like 100x different. Let's see. Target Starbucks has mugs at a cheaper price than the regular Starbucks stores. That's amazing. So guys, there's a hack for you. If you this is the biggest hack ever. You guys ready? If you start a YouTube channel and you ask a question, people will give you the information that you need to make a decision. So for me, what I'm actually doing right now is I'm absorbing all of your brain power and figuring out what I can sell that's closer to $100, right? Because anything around the house is probably worth 15, but it takes some knowledge and skill to really find out what's $100. But we learned that basically the Starbucks cups at Target are the same cups, but they're cheaper than at the retail stores. So Brandy is saying, I don't understand why you focus on ASP. I care about more what your profit is. So this is a general rule here. I'm using the model of 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. Buy for 1/3, sell for 3 times as much, and net 1/3, right? Here's the thing: you can't net more than $15 an item if your ASP is only $15, right? That's why I'm focusing on higher ASP. So you guys saw that Japanese store that I saw that had $250 ASP and 20,000 items for sale. That was the most I have ever seen in a store listed. I have never seen a store that had $5 million worth of stuff listed. That was the first time. So that they have both. They have both high ASP, right? And I looked at their consignment model, and they basically buy items for 100. So they buy items for 100, they sell for 250, and they did 20,000 times. So you can do both. Let's see. eBay tracks sales, not profit. It's true. Jennifer's Treasure says car parts sell for good money. They do indeed. Let's see. If I lived in Alaska, what would I do? I would sell ice to Eskimos, of course. It's so obvious. Let's see here. You work your regular 40-hour a week. This is Thriller Gorilla Picker. You work your regular 40-hour a week and source 3 days a week, and you put about 20 hours a week in the listing and packing. That's great. You guys all need to do exactly what works for you. So whatever your time schedule is, you need to figure out how to maximize your own time. I keep getting this question. I got 4 messages today that said, "How can I want it more?" I don't know how to answer that. Because people will say, like, if you want something bad enough, you'll figure out a way. And I get the question, how do you want it more? I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to answer that question. Let's see. Hitchhike, work for food and shelter if you're homeless. Oh, if you're homeless, how would you start reselling? It'd be difficult, but I have a plan for you. Maybe I'll do a series, how to resell if you're homeless. What I would do is, I know how to do it. I would, if I was a homeless, how would I do that? I haven't thought about this in a while, but okay, this is what I would do. The first thing I would do is I would minimalize my life, and I would try to get to a warm climate, right? So I wouldn't live in Alaska because that would suck as a homeless person. So I would try to hitchhike somewhere warmer. So I would figure out a way to get to somewhere warmer. Then I would have, I would probably beg because I don't like stealing. So I'd probably beg for money to get a little bit of capital. Then I would go to the public library and scan Craigslist for the free section. I would start an eBay account, get a PayPal account. Not fair because some homeless people have not the ability to do this. But if now I was all of a sudden homeless and didn't have eBay, I would set up a PayPal account, a new eBay store. I would go to the public library. I would use their facility to list items that I find in the free section. Now, I actually don't know how I would get the photos. I don't know how to get photos if I was homeless. It's kind of an issue. Maybe I would beg until I could get a cell phone. I would get photos. How would you guys do it? If you're homeless, how would you start? I haven't had that question ever. If you're homeless, how would you be a reseller? I don't know. My picker is asking if there's a magical way to find $100 bills. There's not a magical way, but you could buy stuff that's worth $300 for $100. That's how you could make $100 bills in your eBay store. Oh, that's true. So Cricket is saying you smell too bad for the library. I would try and shower in the bathroom. I don't know exactly what I would do, but I think that would be a way to do it. You would have to try to be presentable at the library. Man, it's tough. I live in the Bay Area. There's a lot of homelessness here. Government phone. I didn't know about that. So you can, or I don't know. Can you order a government phone that has a camera? I'm not familiar with that. That's a great point. Fred says he would join an anytime gym to get showers. So $30 a month. I would say if you stood on the corner and you begged an entire day, you could get enough money to buy a cell phone and a gym membership to start off with. Go to the library to print your labels because you can't print from a cell phone. Print your labels there. Do your research if you can on your computer. Slowly build your way up. Shoe sell stuff. Do I incorporate fitness into my reselling business? It's not in my reselling business unless you count lifting boxes, but they're not that heavy. I incorporate it into my life though. When I wake up, I try to do it. Go to a community college. Okay, that's true. I think community colleges require you to be to take a class there. I could be wrong. Whoa. So there's a Justin Inventory is talking about a homeless woman that still makes it work. So it can be done. I actually didn't consider this. Well, I know, yeah, College Picker, Eric. If you guys don't follow him, he's doing he's living out of his Kia. So I would live out of a Prius. He's doing it wrong. He has a Prius too. I don't know. Oh, actually, his Prius is a Prius C. Can't live in a Prius C. You can live in a Prius V pretty comfortably. I think that I don't know if Hustlebee could do that. He'd probably need a small van, but maybe. And if you meet a woman that would be down with you to live in a Prius until you got your reselling business going, she's a keeper. How would they get the cash? You'd have to have a bank account of some kind. You could potentially just have a PayPal debit card and a PO box. Wow, I forgot about this. You need to get a return address because what if you're homeless, you need a PO box. Crazy. All these different expenses. You probably need like at least $100 a month to run an eBay business. You need a PO box. You need a gym membership to shower. You don't have to shower, but it's better to work out and shower if you can. You need some food. Let's see. I don't think that if you don't have money, you necessarily have the wrong mentality. I don't think that's the case. I think if you don't have money, it could be due to a lot of reasons, but a lot of it in the Bay Area is mental illness. There's like a very strong correlation with mental illness and homelessness here. I don't know what it's like in other states. 19th Vintage says that he's lived it and he knows it can be done. I think it can be done. I haven't had that question before, so it's cool to listen to people talk about what they would do if they were homeless. Ed Miller could never live out of a vehicle. Can you shower at shelters? I don't know if you can shower at homeless shelters. I'm blessed. I have not had to be. I did not have to live at a homeless shelter at any point in my life. Ooh, here we go. So you can get a smartphone from Metro PCS for $60 and a monthly plan for 30. Okay. So yeah, you would need a couple $100 to start a reselling business, no doubt. So you would just have to beg or borrow, don't steal to get started. But I mean, you do what you have to do to get people to start. Oh, snap. You could also do affiliate marketing from the public library. That would take a little bit longer. I think affiliate marketing takes a little bit longer to get started, but without any inventory. Or you could do drop shipping at the library. This is very, very cool. It's very cool thinking that if you are resourceful, you can think of ways to make it work. Prayers and drive. I like that. Believing in a higher power is very good. You can shower at a truck stop for a few dollars each time. That's true, but you don't want to be near a truck stop because then you're not going to be able to source. Let's see. County fair. Shower at the county fairgrounds. Okay. Yeah, Cricket, if you want to do a business plan for homeless, I could try it. I could try to be homeless for a month. I don't want to like mock people who are actually homeless, but because it's not fair. Like I have so many more resources, but it would be extremely difficult to start with nothing and figure out how to start an eBay business. But it's definitely possible. Yeah, there's a guy that traded a paperclip for a house on Craigslist. I don't know how you do that. You'd have to trade people. In the beginning, it'd be easy because you'd be like, "Hey, what can I trade this paperclip for?" And some Okay, I fixed the sound. Sorry about that. Um, now I was just saying it's surprising to me a little bit popular this um, how popular this homeless topic is, but maybe I'll try. Um, so I think we all agree that it'd be great if you could do. Wait, is there still no sound? There should be sound now. We're back in business. Okay, so sorry about that. I'm trying to figure out how we can get the homeless thing going. I think it would be best. Would it be best if you guys were homeless? Would you beg first to get a cell phone, or would you figure out how to get the use the library to list? I don't know how you would even do that. Um, can you buy an item from eBay and ship directly to an eBay customer? You cannot. You cannot drop ship directly off of eBay. You can't do it. Um, you're about to be homeless if your eBay doesn't work. Well, yeah, let's not let it get to that point, Maria. You should email me at 10k on the bay. We'll at gmail.com. We'll look at your store and make sure that you um, don't become homeless because your reselling is not enough. Um, oh, get a job first. That's a good thing. That's actually my best advice for resellers is to have a secondary source of income. Cindy's in the chat on Instagram. She has an extra job and trying to make eBay work on the side. That is something that I think is very important. If you have a secondary source of income like I do, it makes it easier to work on reselling because you don't have to cheap sell your items. Holy crap, there's a lot of comments. Many states give out a free cell phone. I don't know how you do that. How do you get a free cell phone? There's people who get free internet, free cell phone, free housing. Man, how do you do that? I would find an auto detailing company and tell them you'd wash cars. That is a great point. You could literally figure out a will work for money situation and will work for food. And if you didn't want to beg and get money for free, you could offer people services. I do think that's a great idea. If you went to a car wash or an auto detailing company, maybe they would let you do a little bit of work um, for cash. But I worry because wouldn't they worry that since you don't know how to wash cars, you would screw up the cars and it would cost them money on the back end? I don't know. Um, find a job with a lot of downtime that allows you to list at work. Milk cap, that is a theft of services. I don't want people working for me to be listing on the clock. Let's see here. In Illinois, seniors can get a free cell phone. So if you're 20 years old, you can wait until you're 65 and then get a free cell phone. Let's see. The free phones are for people on disability or welfare, as they should be. Like you shouldn't be getting a free phone if you're able to work, in my opinion. Um, you'd low key live in a storage unit. Ooh, what do you guys think of that? How could you work in a storage unit without getting caught? I guess you could do it without getting caught temporarily. They would eventually figure it out, or maybe not. I don't know. Um, let's see. Low key live in a storage unit. I would rather live in my car, I think. Would you guys rather live in your car or your storage unit? You work on eBay at work. Man, you are such a bad employee. I would fire you. Just kidding. As long as you get the job done, I guess I wouldn't mind. See, this is my opinion. I don't care if people working for me get the job that they're supposed to be doing and they work on other stuff done. But I don't like it when what they do at work distracts them from getting what I'm paying them to do it for. That's a no good. Not a good thing. It's risky. There's surveillance to crack down on living in storages. Oh, I agree. Is the storage unit heated? I'm gonna have to say no. Like it's not heated. People are saying they'd rather live in their car. Oh, van. The cold is real. If you do become homeless, living under park benches is a good thing to sleep. Is that just cliche that you want to sleep under a park bench, or is that why is that warm? I don't understand why under a park bench is warm. How would you keep inventory? You would have to have an inventory system of your coat. You'd have to put left pocket in the custom SKU, right pocket in the custom SKU so you could keep track of where you put your items. Let's see. You rent an old barn. Awesome. You're homeless with your son and you slept in cars. Yeah, no, that's a thing. So let's see. Your thoughts are if you were resourceful enough to figure out how to resell while homeless, then it's not likely you're going to be homeless in the first place. True. Like a lot of criminals are criminals. Like a lot of criminals get caught because people who are smart aren't criminals. That's a one way of looking at it. Um, wow, that's a great point. Loretta is saying there's so many people who are like one or two paychecks from being homeless. So if you can get onto a reselling game and I would say follow a few different resellers, copy the plans. I have the Low Key Husky store. It almost makes six figures. It's like almost $2,000 a week profit now. You guys can copy that store, figure stuff around the house, thrift stores, garage sales, whatever. But a certain amount listed, you want to get like however much you want to make in a year listed. So like that store is almost 100,000. Or I mean, it'll be 120,000 listed after this week. So that's a way to get it to boost up there. What do I think about packaging every single item? I pre-package every single item that I can. Um, this is a good point. Like Donald Trump was saying that at some point there, the person that was homeless, or I mean, I forgot the story, but basically the homeless person was worth more than him because he had all this mounting debt. I can definitely feel that was a thing. So like if you are in tons of student loan debt, which is like the common thing for the US right now, you want to just slowly build up streams of income. In my opinion, most people do not have a spending problem. Most people have a income problem. So like um, this is okay. This is kind of a perspective. I know a lot of people don't like Grant Cardone, but Grant Cardone says if you have less than $800,000 in debt, then you don't have a debt problem. You have an income problem because like a multiple six-figure income will erase $800,000 in debt in under a decade. So you just need to figure out how to have sales. Like Mark Cuban says, sales cures everything for the most part. So you want to figure out how to do it. Um, Debt is horrible. I know I've been there, so like it's not a good situation to be in. Step one, panhandle. Step two, get a gym membership and some hygiene products. Step three, um, go to the library and start looking on Craigslist. It's a reasonable plan. Let's see. Let's see. Somebody. So yeah, I mean, what do you guys think? This is, I'm gonna be controversial here and just say like I don't like Dave Ramsey. I know a lot of people love Dave Ramsey. I just don't like him because I don't think you can save your way to freedom. You have to learn how to make money. And learning how to make money, you usually save money if you learn how to make money because making money requires more money. This is why people say money's not important. Most of those people are broke because like you need money to make more money. That's how this works. Like you need more money to create more value and create more systems and make it work. It's a tool. You want to continue to do it. So that's why I don't like Dave Ramsey because I think it's not, yes, you want to focus on saving money. Of course, you don't want to be stupid with your money, but you want to focus on making money. If you make money, it cures so many problems. Like this is the thing from, I forgot which motivational person said this, but if you turn your annual income into your monthly income, do you still have an income problem? Like if your annual income was your monthly income, so you just 10x your life. So you do the amount of work you would do in a whole year in 1 month. Like the Hustlebee was talking about this. You guys all know that he sells shoes. What if on the friends and family sale he spent 100 grand, and then he just sold that the rest of the year? So he bought it for 100 on the friends and family sale, sold it for 300, net 100 over the course of the year. Back to our original topic. You guys see how I did that? Of $100 ASP. You could do it all in one day potentially. You can't print out your labels. You should just give up. If you can't print your labels, you should give up. Let's see. So here's the thing: if money isn't important, or I'm sorry, if money doesn't make you happy, I still want it. You might as well have it if it doesn't make you happy. I guess I like Dave Ramsey in the sense that he doesn't have debt, but I just think that's the wrong way to focus on it. I think the right way to focus on it is being valuable to society. How valuable can you be, and you'll make the proportional amount of money. Okay, one more thing I want to share with you guys, and I gotta get to work. There's a YouTuber that I think was blowing my mind. Okay, so this YouTuber was explaining how he makes $1 million a month, and I was like, how the hell is he making $1 million a month? Right? It made the first thing it made me think was my goals are too small, because he said his plan, and he was doing affirmations, and his affirmation was, I will easily make $2 million a month, and if I fail, I'll only make $1 million a month. So I was looking at the structure of his day, of what making $1 million a month looks like, and he was talking about it, and he was talking about his monthly expenses being 70 grand, right? So I was thinking, okay, it's starting to make sense to me, because like he's making $1 million a month, which is like I don't know, that's like 20 people, 20 normal people make $1 million a month, right? I mean, I'm sorry, a year. 20 million people. Oh, actually, he's talking about per month. Holy crap. It's way more than that. But anyway, my point is he was spending 70 grand a month to make $1 million a month. And this is, I don't know if it was revenue or whatever, but the point of it is just when you put it down on paper and you look at it, that it's amazing that some people's goals are that big. Yeah, I know. I wonder who that is. Prince is in the chat. Shout out to Wired by Biz. If you guys haven't followed him, check it out. But we've been heavily analyzing people's goals and trying to figure out breaking it down, how people make money. And literally, the guy said, "This is my plan to make $1 million a month." Sounds crazy, but when you look at my plan, it'll start to make sense. And after he showed me the plan, I was like, "Damn, that makes sense." I couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe that was reasonable. What was his name? Can't tell you. Let's see. Anyone here save and invest close to 50% of their income? Oh my goodness. I have to share this. So I sold this car to this Indian gentleman, and I'm in the Bay Area, and I sold cars in Fremont, which is got to be in the top 2 most brown cities in the country. Maybe where Prince is in New Jersey, there's more Indian people, but there's a lot of Indian people here. And I'm not being racist. I'm just pointing out that he was teaching me. He told me this is why Indian people have a lot of money. I was like, okay, I'm all ears. He said, the first thing you want to do is save 70% of your income. And I was like, what are you talking about? But yeah, basically he saved 70% of his income his entire life. He either invested or saved 70% of it. And it forced him to live at home for a really long time till he could figure it out. And then the only car he could buy was like $1,000 Toyota Corolla. And he slowly built up he figured out how to live on 30% of his income. So that's amazing. I don't know how you do that. And it's not an Indian cultural thing. It's just something that he brought up. I thought it was pretty entertaining. Let's see. BG is going to take my journal advice. You guys should buy the 5-minute journal. I don't have an affiliate link. You should just buy it because it'll make your life better. Prince says you save 80% of your money in his family. That is crazy. I mean, I'll be honest with you guys. I grew up in a culture that was completely different. My parents said, "We live in America. Whatever you want, you just buy it right now. Pay for it later." That's the upbringing I had. So I had to like reverse all that wiring, because that's not the proper wiring. Dave Ramsey would be crying if he heard my parents' plan for making money. Laura reinvests and saves 40%, but she lives on a cash basis, no debt, an emergency fund, vacation fund. I love that. You wanna have a vacation fund, emergency fund. My friend Austin has a 15-year savings fund. I'm like, bro, that's a long time. He's like, yeah, I want it to be 100 years. So that's cool. If you have 100 years of savings, you can pretty much not worry about money. Let's see. Save 10 to 15% of your paycheck. Invest it in a portfolio and retire a millionaire at 60. It depends on what age you start, Danny. That's really the biggest indication of how successful you are, is how early you start. Let's see. Well, and Sir Thrifts a lot. I like that username. Of course, by the time you're 60, you have $1 million, but it won't be worth $1 million anymore. I agree. There's inflation, but having $1 million is better than zero if you don't invest at all. If you have no debt, you can live off of 30%. Yeah, it's definitely possible. Oh, Danny's only 22. Yeah, that's what's up. So when you're 22, you definitely, this is what I don't recommend you do. Um, I saved like 100 grand by the time I was 27, and I spent all of it trying to start businesses with no market. So don't do that. I would not recommend starting a business and hoping they will come. That is not the way to do it unless you're using OPM, which is other people's money. Then I recommend you borrow as much as possible. If you want to do it that way and you want to build something and have people come, you need a lot of capital. You'll burn through your capital really fast. It costs a lot more money than you think to start an app. Um, it's Murphy's law. Everything that's bad that can happen will happen. Heather is asking if I invest in Airbnb. I have three. I actually have four get around cars, so cars I rent out. They produce more income than Airbnb for me, but I am interested in Airbnb. Anyone sell Bitcoin? Bitcoin's ridiculous. I had a friend that sold 100 Bitcoins for $400 each. It's so sad that he's not killing it right now. Let's see. The struggle is printing labels, making pancakes, and watching me at the same time. Bro, you should need to turn my channel off. Pancakes are way more important than this. Um, it's true. It's a perspective game. If you grow up poor and you don't know where your next meal is coming from, you're usually more stingy than people that grow up with everything. I think that's one of the reasons why I have a really generous personality, is because my parents were very generous, for better or worse. That's awesome. So Loretta, they bought 2 rental homes early, so retirement is not a worry. That's on my girlfriend's goal is to get a rental property next year for us to start. We don't live in a very it's cheaper here to rent than it is to buy, so we're gonna get a rental property in different area. Hustlebee is awesome. What did my parents do? My parents owned a small restaurant. So let's see. Invest for your kids like you would invest for your retirement. That's a good point. I think you should invest in your kids. I think you should raise good adults. Like, what if you have good kids, but they turn out to be bad adults? If I could redo my if I could, well, one day I'll raise kids, but if I raise kids, I want to raise them to be good adults. And this is what I define as a good adult, just somebody who provides more value than they get. That's all. Just provide more than you take from the world. If everyone did that, the world would be a better place. A lot of people take more than they give. That doesn't add up really fast. Making money is not easy. I think that is a perspective thing. I think making money can be easy. Okay, actually, it's simple but not easy, right? Simple but not easy. Any tips for getting top rated seller? I cannot believe this is the first time I've been a top rated seller. Today is the first day I'm top rated seller. I hope I don't lose it my first month. Any tips? Sell more stuff. It's the same tip I have for people who get a negative feedback early on. Sell more stuff so that you're still 99% or higher. That's it. Top rated status is really just, you want to get to the point where you're selling hundreds of items and a couple of things don't destroy you. Also have an inventory system so you don't lose something. I should make some story time videos. If you raise kids to produce more value than they take, then they'll be fine. That's why, that's why it's really, really hard for trust fund babies to be productive, because they already have everything. So like trying to give more than everything is an extremely difficult task. It's very, very, very hard. You became top rated today soon. Awesome. Top rated fam. Let's see. Your inventory system is similar to mine. Sweet. Glad I could help. I think the best part of my inventory system is that the bins always stay full. Unless you're Donald Trump. That's true. What if Donald Trump was never rich? It's part of that makes me wonder if he was ever rich. If you could just take a small loan of $1 million, that's it. So the first thing you guys want to do is borrow $1 million and double it. Pay back that $1 million for a reasonable percentage. Then you have 910,000 left to start your own business. The inventory system that I have is that I use clothing pins. I use 20 per bin, and then On the clothing pin is the 1 through 20 for which item it is in the box, and then also the name of the box. So I have them numbered between 0, and 99. So 100 bins, 20 per bin, 2,000 per row. 2,000, like I said in the beginning of this video, 2,000 items, depending on what you sell, could make you healthy six figures, or it could make you only a couple grand a month if you sell really cheap items. What's up, Rise and Grind Picker? Have 1 day shipping if you have to have 1 day shipping and 30-day returns to get top rated plus. It takes a lot more than just money to be successful. Agreed. Well, actually, it doesn't. Money has nothing to do with it. It's just do you produce more value than you take? That's how you make money. So, as an example, if a sale occurs when value exceeds price, that's one of my favorite sayings. I don't know who said it. Am I working on Thanksgiving? I am. I'm volunteering from 8 in the morning till 3 in the afternoon serving food, and then I'm going to be cooking sweet potato pie. That's the only Thanksgiving thing I know how to cook. I don't know how to cook a turkey, but I'm going to let my girlfriend figure out how to do that. All I have to do is move the turkey into the oven. The rest of it I don't have to do. You like the Donald? Donald's cool. I learned a lot from him. He's really the king of converting attention, in my opinion. He's figured out how to turn attention into money. Let's see. Just started selling on eBay. Your best advice? My best advice is to spend 10 times as much time on sourcing than you do anything else. Yep. 10 times as much time on sourcing and research. Let's see. Always remember you are raising adults. That's right. So Michelle, who's in my mastermind group, plug for that. Always remember you are raising adults, not kids. Agreed. So I just think you want to raise grateful kids who give more than they take. That's it. Very straightforward. Say thank you. Say please. When you give people stuff, leave places cleaner than when you found them. I don't follow that rule. I'm kind of messy right now. But you want to just give more. But yeah, for newbies, I would spend a lot of time researching so you can really get into a niche that there are home runs. That's what's up. Like if you sell baseball cards like Gary Vee, and you're sorting through all these 20-cent cards and you find one worth $100, you want to have the information downloaded in your brain so you can pluck that out, make that money. Stephanie says she wants to raise her kid to be a productive citizen. That's all I'm saying. If everybody gave more than they took, if everyone gave more value, the whole world would go away. That's why I believe I'm a big fan of entrepreneurship, because I think that we're solving the world's problems. I do think it'll make everything go away. Like the government is sort of like the opposite of entrepreneurship. It's a form of entrepreneurship too. It's just different. It's designed to help the people that are in it. Black Friday or Cyber Monday sale. I say you invest more time into actually, I'm okay with investing time in the Black Friday if you truly get good deals. But you want to really refine your sourcing process. So you're either like, let's say you only source on holiday sales. There's people who do this. They go outlet shopping and they spend 30 grand on just that one day. And then they sell for the next few months until the day after Christmas half annual sale. And they crush that until the next sale. And they just save up. And they're the first person in line. I don't know. It's a volume game. Like you have to be able to buy a lot and cheap. What's Ashley's Instagram name? Are you talking about Hustle at Home Mom? Your son offered to help your waitress clean tables because she looked busy. See, that's what's up. If you raise kids that are helpful, like, I've been to a restaurant before where I helped bust the tables because I wanted to sit there. I don't mind. Like if you go to a restaurant and they're busy and they don't have time and they need help clearing the table, you can help them clear out the table. You don't have to just watch them do it. Like that's giving more value than you receive. Then, they're more likely to give you a free appetizer or something because the value you gave them is higher than the value they're giving back to you. Do I have any videos on making a good listing? I'm going to be doing, maybe I'll do that after. If you guys want to do a listing party, I'll start listing and I'll show you guys how to make a good listing. Taxes suck. I think taxes are good because someone's got to pay for all these freebies that people want. Do you type my title in all caps? So I don't do that, but a lot of the sellers, one of the top sellers that I follow has their brand in all caps. And that's supposed to be a no-no, but they literally sell more than any other person I've ever seen. So I guess they may be the exception, not the rule. Your 3-year-old helps you pack the packages. Be careful with the 3-year-old. You might accidentally package them into it. Will I do a sale in my store? Hell no. Definitely not. I've been saying hell no to offers recently. It's been making me really happy. So if someone gives you a lowball offer, just respond hell no. Let's see. Oh yeah, if you guys can hit the like button, I would really appreciate that. Your son is 7. It's just you two. Awesome. That's amazing. You're raising a little hustler. Let's see. You just printed the weekly game plan. Yeah, if you guys want to go to bit.ly/10K on the Bay, there's a weekly plan to help you make $1,000 a week. That's the goal. 70 items, $15 profit. Guys, 70 items, $15 profit. Get that tattooed with a Sharpie marker on your arm if you want to quit your job and make $1,000 a week. $15 profit, 70 items a week. Your wife cleans under the table before you leave the restaurant. That's very nice of her. Is it expensive to ship stuff? It depends what it is. If you're shipping a yacht, very expensive to ship. If you're shipping a memory card, not so expensive. It'd be like, yeah, there's a little bit of a depends on the size. Your 6-year-old is a hoarder. How did you do that? That is not good. You do not want to raise hoarders. You want to raise minimalist people that have no debt and lots of options. Also, one more thing I want to share with you guys, then I really have to go. Last thing. Okay. There is a lot of money to be made in accountability. Okay. As an example, the person I was talking about earlier that makes a lot of money has a course. Okay. And the course is only 1 hour, right? And he charges $500 for it. Now, the thing is, it's still worth it, in my opinion, because he or she walks you through the process of something, holding your hand and showing you how to do it. That to me is worth $500. The actual course is not worth anything. In fact, most of the information is free on YouTube. I do like that they combine the information for you in one place, but that's not important. The important part is hand holding people to get to the next step. So if you guys want to make money, you can do that. You can say, hey, let me show you how to make a good listing on your account. Give me your money. And they'll be like, definitely. The value has exceeded the price. For me to figure it out on my own, not worth it. I would pay $100 for someone to teach me how to write a better title. Why not? I don't have to. If they would actually show me one-on-one how to do it, it's worth it. So what would I do? How would I teach my child how to be a minimalist? I would confine their space. That's how I would do it. If I was going to teach my kid to be a minimalist, I would say you only get this one shelf for your stuff and the rest of it gets donated. So what they would do is learn to only buy things that they really want. I think that would work, right? Does that work? I don't know what you guys think. I'm going to leave on that note, but put in the chat, if you guys are raising kids, how would you teach them to be a minimalist? For me, I would restrict their space. That's the same way that I deal with people who have a death pile. Say, don't worry about your death pile. Just restrict your space. You can buy as much shit as you want as long as it fits in that corner. I'll never give them anything. That also works too. All right, guys. Have a great night, day, wherever it is you are in the world. Talk to you guys later. I might have a listing party later today.